name is Kelly, and I'm from the Management Study Guide's content team. In this course, we will talk about persuasion skills in detail. Let's get started. Let's look at the case of Gerard, who works as a senior sales executive at Leona, Inc. Frank Smith is Gerard's regional manager at Leona. Gerard has been recently offered a position in one of Leona's overseas offices in China for 2 years. However, Gerard is not very sure he should take up this offer due to various personal reasons. He has 2 children who study in high school and are well settled and happy in their current school and among friends. Also, Gerard knows that his working wife would not be too happy to leave her job to move abroad to live in an unknown culture. Frank's boss has given Frank the responsibility of convincing Gerard of taking up the position in China. Let us look at a conversation between Frank and Gerard with regard to this situation.
Hi, Gerard. How's work going?
Work's going great, Frank, but you must have heard about the position they offered me in one of their offices in China.
Oh, yes. I know about that and have wanted to speak to you about the same. Is this a good time to discuss it?
Sure. It would feel good to discuss the situation with someone. I can't broach the subject at home until I myself have a clear idea of what I want to do.
So, I heard that you've been offered the area manager position.
Yes, that's right.
So, why are you thinking twice about such a great offer? You know it would take you at least another 5 years to get a position in this office. This is a place that is just so saturated in terms of opportunities to grow.
I know that, but I have certain personal issues that are making me confused about this.
What issues?
It's just that my kids are in high school and are well settled here in their current school. They have a nice and close group of friends. I don't want to move them to a new school, especially at such an important juncture of their school days. They'll soon be pursuing their graduation in college. I don't want them to face the hassles of adjusting and settling in a new school in an alien culture.
I see. I can understand that.
That's not all. My wife works as a senior technical writer at Howard Inc. She hopes to be promoted to the position of team leader this year. She has really worked hard for this promotion. I just cannot ask her to give it all up to move to China.
That's a real shame, but you do have a point there. Your kids and wife won't be happy about moving to China at this juncture in their happy and settled lives.
Now you can understand my confusion. I'm so tense. I just can't make up my mind.
Hey, I have an idea. Why don't you speak to the management and let them know that these are the issues that you have, and you can only take this offer but only on certain conditions.
And what are those?
You can tell them that you'd be willing to move to China if and only if they allow you a week's leave every 6 months to come back and meet your family.
Do you think they would agree to it?
I am sure they would. They are really hard-pressed upon finding someone from the head office here to fit the role of area manager in their Chinese office. They need someone who can really take up the challenge to develop the market and clients in the area. They know they've chosen the best when they chose you.
Thanks, Frank. I too am looking forward to getting into such a role. It would be such a great move for my career.
True. Moreover, it would also help you get into a leadership role where you'd be handling a team of your own. It is a golden opportunity and one that I think you should not miss. You would not get a chance to get into a leadership role so easily in this office. You know that, right?
Oh, yes, I know that. There are so many people competing for such roles in this office. I think I should speak to the management openly about my issues, and also suggest the plausible solution that you gave.
Sure, you should. I would also personally speak to them and convince them. All the same, be ready to take up this offer and move to China. After all, it'd only be for 2 years. After that, they've promised to move you back here. Think about the global market experience that you'll get in that position. It's an offer too good to be true.
Yes, Frank, you are absolutely right. Why didn't I think of all this before? I could definitely move temporarily for 2 years to China and then come back while my family can stay here during that period. My career would get a fresh new boost and their lives would also not get affected. I think it's a great idea. Thanks for talking to me, Frank. I just couldn't think like you.
You're most welcome. Anytime. Go for it.
You have seen from the conversation between Frank and Gerard how Frank persuades Gerard to take up the offer in the China office. Frank persuades Gerard to move from his confused thoughts to thinking very clear thoughts of taking up the offer. This is the power of persuasion. Persuasion is crucial for success in every walk of life, whether personal or professional. Let us learn about persuasion skills in detail. Let's review the course objectives. Explain what is persuasion. Explain how persuasion works. Describe the importance of persuasion. Explain the steps of the persuasion process. Explain the role of communication in persuasion. Explain how to use AIDA for persuasive writing. Explain the rhetoric of persuasion. Explain the major principles of persuasion. Explain how to persuade different personalities. Explain the use of positive body language for persuasion. Explain the framework theories for applying persuasion. Explain strategies for developing persuasion skills. Explain the storytelling technique of persuasion. Explain the steps for building rapport. List the characteristics of a good persuader. What is persuasion? Persuasion is the process of communication that is intended to induce belief or action, and of moving others by argument to a position or a particular course of action, either temporarily or permanently. Persuasion is believed to be both an art and a science. The steps of the persuasion process. As proposed by Professor Jay Conger, the following are the steps to be followed in the persuasion process. Step 1. Establish credibility and trust in yourself. Step 2. Find a basis of common ground. Step 3. Provide vivid proof. Step 4. Connect at an emotional level. Let's look at each one of these in detail. AIDA for persuasive writing. One of the most common tools for persuasive writing is AIDA. The acronym AIDA stands for Attention, Interest, Desire, and Action. Let's look at each one of these in detail. Ethos. The word ethos is of Greek origin and means the word character. Ethos in rhetoric is a show of the speaker's character and/or credentials. Hence, while using ethos in rhetoric for persuading a person, the speaker demonstrates his own power and authority. As per Aristotle, ethos is the most important attribute of any communication. People with varying levels of involvement. There are 4 kinds of people identified by Peter Sandman, who have varying levels of involvement with the persuader's issue of interest. It is very important that a persuader should learn to cope with the people with different levels of involvement, such as the following. Number 1, fanatics. Number 2, attentive. Number 3, browsers. Number 4, inattentive. Let's look at each one of these in detail. Framework theories for applying persuasion techniques. There are various theories proposed as a framework for deciding the kind of persuasion technique that you can use to persuade various people. The following are the framework theories for applying persuasion techniques. Ranks intensify and downplay model, Monroe's motivated sequence of persuasion, the integrity principle. Let's look at each one of these in detail. Analyze your current stance and define what you hope to achieve with the persuasions. You need to gather as much information as you can. Ensure that you know all about the other party, their strengths, their weaknesses, and so on. If you're not getting the desired information, try hiring an expert who can get you that information. Also, make sure that the expert is present during the discussion. The more you know before the discussion, the better prepared you will be when the discussion begins. The storytelling technique of persuasion. It is common knowledge that almost everyone loves stories. Whenever you hear someone narrate a story, you suddenly pay more attention to the speaker. This is one of the main reasons that storytelling has become one of the most powerful yet secretly practiced techniques of persuasion. Benefits of effective persuasion. The following are some of the benefits of persuading others. Good persuasion skills can help you to gain better control in business as well as personal situations. They help you to identify and understand yours as well as the other party's interests, and also understand the differences between both. It helps to reach a win-win solution, which is mutually beneficial to all the parties involved in a persuasion process. Good persuasion skills also help to improve interpersonal relationships.